Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. Please make sure that you subscribe to us on all of the major podcast platforms in America. We are on all of them, whether it's Apple Podcast or Google Podcast, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora. We're out there. We are on all of them. Please subscribe to The Right Side with Doug Billings on your favorite platform. And check us out on YouTube as well, because you are going to want to see and experience the full grandeur, the incredible beauty, the high energy charisma, and the intellectual maturity that this program offers in the visual sense on YouTube. So please make sure that you head over there and subscribe to that channel as well. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Facebook and Twitter, CloutHub, and Parler. You can find me on Twitter at Doug Billings. Same with Parler and CloutHub. All right, so here we are. President Trump has the COVID. Oh, no, he's got the COVID, the wildly, deadly virus that the only way that you know you have it is to be tested for it. And it appears as if, and of course, we are still praying for and still have the president, his family and staff, and his wife, Melania, of course, in our thoughts and our prayers. And while we don't want to jump the gun here, it looks like he is going to be one of the ones who, the 99.998% of everybody who gets this thing, he's looking just like all of the rest. Mild to no symptoms and a 100% statistical survival rate. He's obviously over 70, so he's in a category that is one that we need to be aware of and take care of. But he looks, so far, knock on wood, it's all looking good, and it looks like he might be able to go back home to the White House early this week. So we're still praying for him. We're still praying for the speedy recovery, but at least at this moment, it looks as if he's going to recover, and he's going to be back to work soon at home in the White House. So, I have said since the beginning of this thing, there has been so much wildly unnecessary panic about this virus. The infection to death ratio for this thing, for people who get it, is 0.00003%. That's 4 zeros and a 3. 0.00003%. That's the infection to death ratio. And yet the entire world goes into a panic. It doesn't mean that we don't take it serious. And it doesn't mean that every death is not tragic. However, there's not 200,000 deaths from COVID, and I'll get to that in a minute. For those people that are from birth to 19 years of age, you're basically unaffected. Unaffected. If you're 20 to 49, the infection to death ratio is 0.0002%. If you want to go up a little bit, sure. How about age 50 to 49? 50 to 69 years of age, 0.0005%. And to 70 plus years of age, which is the category that our president is in. The infection to death ratio for those 70 and over is 0.054%. Almost everybody who gets this thing recovers from it. COVID-19 survival rates, you want to talk about that? Birth to 19, 99.997% survival rate. From 20 to 49 years of age, a 99.98 survival rate. We've been through this data before. 50 to 69 years of age, a survival rate of 99.5%. And then age 70 and over, a 94.6% chance of survival. So it looks as if today, and again, knocking on wood and continuing our prayers, it looks like President Trump is going to be one of the 94.6% in his age group, 70 and over, who will survive this thing. Mild to no symptoms. Mild to no symptoms, just like almost everybody who gets this thing. Now look, much to the chagrin of the hateful and intolerant left, it appears, and like I said, we're still praying and still hoping that he's going to be home in the White House in a couple of days. Let me recap what I've been saying since February about COVID-19. I have called it the biggest nothing burger in the history of hysteria. I have called it absolutely wildly unnecessary panic, and I stand by those statements. I stand by them because the death numbers that you see in the mainstream media are not true. Now, if I knew that the mainstream media was telling me the truth and telling us the truth about these numbers, that 200,000 people had really died from it, I would have a different, not a lot different, but a slightly different view of this whole issue and of the virus itself. Look, folks, people I've worked with in the healthcare industry have done studies on the death certificates that have been issued in this country from February through August. And what they found is that when COVID-19 is listed as the primary cause of death, there's nowhere near 200,000 people that have died from COVID when it's the primary cause of death. You want to take a little guess, little wager? I'll wait a few seconds. How many people do you think have died in this country from COVID-19 when it's the primary cause of death? 17,624, ladies and gentlemen. 17,624 cases of COVID when it's the primary cause of death. Everybody else has died of multiple pre-existing medical conditions. It's probably that 17,624 is probably the most underreported story in the history of journalism. And now that it appears as if President Trump will recover from the virus with the same mild to no symptoms that almost everybody else has who gets this thing, he will become a symbol. He's going to become a symbol of the wildly unnecessary panic and the symbol of hope and a symbol of truth. Of hope, a symbol of truth, that the relative ease at which most people recover from this thing is attainable. He's going to be a symbol of a lot of things. Hope, truth, light, wonder, and joy and meaning in this life. He's going to be a symbol of victory. He's going to be a symbol, in literal terms, of winning. The virus can't get him. The virus didn't get him. It's not going to kill him. And if we would just hang on to the fact that it won't kill most of us, instead of thinking that maybe it will kill most of us, that's what the media wants you to believe. They want you to think that this is the zombie apocalypse. This is the worst thing ever. That Trump didn't handle it well. And I'm going to remind you again that he did. He shut it down. Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and others in the new Democratic Socialist Communist Party ridiculed him and mocked him and did everything except stringing him up in the public square. They were the ones that went out and encouraged everybody to come to Chinatown, go out into restaurants. Trump is xenophobic. He's crazy. He's a nut job. As it turns out, he's almost always right, and he's going to be fine. And it looks like the media and the ultra left, the new Democratic Socialist Communist Party, is going to have an absolute meltdown. You see stories on Twitter. Trump responded to the prayer group and all of the patriots and the fans out on the street on the sidewalk in front of Walter Reed Memorial Hospital, and the left's heads are exploding because Trump gets in the caravan and goes around the block and waves to the supporters and to the well-wishers and to the people offering prayer, wearing a mask and everybody else around him. But the media has meltdowns. Trump, obviously infected with COVID, is driving around the block wishing people well. He's wearing a mask, left-wing fanatics. I thought the mask worked. What the hell are you so worried about? Unbelievable. Well, because when they see the president doing well, when they see him, exhibiting signs of strength and vitality and vigor and leadership, they can't handle it. They have meltdowns. The only thing that they do, the tolerant left, if you remember last week, they wanted him to denounce white supremacy. Come on, Mr. President, denounce it. Never mind that he's denounced it about 20 times in the last 3 years. But as soon as he's diagnosed with COVID, I hope he dies. He's sorry now. That son of a bitch, I hope he dies. You know, you see these things. You see those tweets. The tolerant left in all of their glory. I think that what you will see is a triumphant return to the White House. And I hope that the people in his camp have Melania meet him on that lawn when the helicopter lands at the White House, and they run out and they greet each other and they give each other a hug and they wave to the crowd and they walk back into the White House. That would be quite a scene. Melania and President Trump meeting and embracing on the lawn of the White House as Marine One lands on the lawn and lets the president depart for home at the White House. So while we continue to pray for the health and the recovery of President Trump, we also have been given a gift. His infection and recovery will prove that he is a winner in every single imaginable way. The love the people of this country have for him will increase. Exponentially it will increase. The massive parades, the rallies, the millions of prayers are visible signs of the invisible sign of the divine providence that surrounds President Trump. And I want you to think about that. All of the rallies, the parades, all of these massive gatherings of people is a visible sign of the invisible God and his divine providence, which is called President Trump, to be present and president at this time to face these issues. We can't be too immune from that truth. We can't be so close-minded that we don't recognize that miracle. People often ask, where's our proof of God? Where is our proof of him and his divine providence? And we who have faith have got to open our faith-filled eyes and our hearts to see that God's almighty hand is present within these massive crowds. The people, the prayers, the utterances of their prayers, the symbol of all of that is a symbol of the invisible God, and don't be too jaded to miss that. This president is beloved, ladies and gentlemen, and he's called and he's chosen by God to be here at this time to face these issues. And our republic needs him. And once he rebounds from this, and he most certainly will, he's going to be unstoppable. And more importantly, unbeatable in the race for the presidency. And I'm here to tell you that he will win by margins by which this republic has not seen before. Have faith in that. Hold on tight to that. And believe it. I'm Doug Billings, on the right side with Doug Billings. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Cheers.